The sound of the fridge door echoed in the silent mansion. Mr. Safe, a billionaire known for his strict rules, stood at the doorway, eyes narrowed. His maid, Anaya, froze, holding the fridge handle. "You're fired," he said coldly. She stammered something, her voice shaking, but he had already turned away. Days later, he would discover the truth, and it would haunt him for the rest of his life. Safe had built his fortune from nothing. His mansion was a monument to his discipline, every object in its place, every rule enforced without exception. He valued efficiency, control, and above all, loyalty. Anaya had been working for him for 2 years. She was quiet, hard-working, never late. But Safe believed in keeping his staff at a distance, no personal questions, no emotional bonds. That morning, he had been reviewing a business proposal in his home office when he heard the faint creak of the kitchen fridge. It wasn't unusual for the cook to use it, but the cook had left an hour ago. Curious, Safe walked to the kitchen. There she was, Anaya, standing in front of the fridge, peering inside. She didn't notice him until he spoke. "What are you doing?" His tone was sharp, almost accusing. Anaya's eyes widened. "Sir, I..." But Safe's temper flared. "You know the rules. No touching the fridge without permission. I was just..." "You're fired. Collect your things." His words were like ice. Her lips trembled, but she said nothing. She simply lowered her gaze, closed the fridge, and walked to her small room at the back of the house. Minutes later, she was gone. Safe returned to his office, feeling nothing. At least, that's what he told himself. Rules were rules. But that night, as he poured himself a glass of water, he found himself glancing at the fridge. Something about the way she had looked at him, the fear, but also something else, something unspoken, kept replaying in his mind. 2 days later, Safe was in the city for a meeting when a light rain began to fall. As he waited for his driver, he noticed a small crowd gathered near a bus stop. Curiosity pulled him closer. There, huddled under a thin scarf, sat Anaya. She was holding a little boy in her lap, wrapping her own shawl around him to keep him warm. The child coughed weakly. Safe froze. Someone in the crowd whispered, "That's her son. Poor thing's been sick for days. She lost her job recently, now she's struggling to feed him." The truth hit him like a punch to the chest. The fridge. She had been looking for food. Not for herself, for her child. Memories flooded in, the way she had sometimes skipped lunch, the way she had looked faint by evening, the quiet way she refused leftover desserts. He had thought she was simply disciplined. Now, he saw the truth, she had been hiding her struggles, too proud to ask for help. Safe stepped forward. "Anaya," he said softly. She looked up, startled. The boy coughed again. "I didn't know," he began, his voice unsteady. "Why didn't you tell me?" She shook her head. "You have rules, sir. And I didn't want your pity." "This isn't pity," he said firmly. "It's responsibility." That day, Safe took Anaya and her son to a clinic. He arranged for the boy's treatment and offered her job back, with better pay and no conditions about the fridge. Months later, the boy was healthy, Anaya was smiling again, and Safe had learned something priceless. Rules can build empires, but compassion keeps them standing. Final message for viewers. We never truly know what battles someone is fighting behind closed doors. Sometimes, a moment of understanding is worth more than a lifetime of rules.